To us, when Rosa Parks was arrested because she refused to get up or whatever, etc., it was based on a piece of legislation in that state at that time, a law that said a black person had to move to the back of the bus, and even if a white person wanted to sit down, if you're in the back of the bus, couldn't get that white person. That was a written law. So the law, and you being in law school is where we were coming from. You have to, if people could keep that in mind and understand. Some people think what we did was a bunch of macho stuff and we had some guns. Not at all. I'd already did 4 years in the United States Air Force. I understand infrastructure relationships. I was an expert shot with guns, weapons, etc., but I was in the high-tech world. So to me, I had to have things based on good proven scientific evidentiary fact, etc., and so on. We were avid readers and researchers. So by the time we trained some people to get out there, and we're going to observe these police, because we're coming from a law that we had researched and found. The California State Supreme Court ruling giving us the right to observe policemen. So we took law books, weapons, etc. We wouldn't even point a weapon because we studied the law. You cannot point a loaded weapon at a person under California law if there's a live round in the chamber, it's a loaded weapon, therefore it constituted assault with a deadly weapon. So you had to hold the weapon to the left. You couldn't even point that weapon unless and only when you may have to defend yourself. So we knew all these laws. So by the time we got down to West Oakland down there that first week of January, 2 carloads of us, we all got guns, half handguns, half long guns. Everybody's in a uniform, little black beret. You couldn't buy a black leather jacket, you could buy a black bush jacket. And you know me, I want things organized. So you had to shine your shoes, you had to crease your pants. I remember Bobby Hutton said, man, well, we got to crease our pants and take a bath like you talking all this kind of crap. We're just going out here to look at some old funky policeman. I said, we are not blippies. What's a blippy? I said, a black hippie who won't take a bath. We are organized. We're organizing our people out here. You go out there asking the people, you come and smell it up there. The black people don't tell you you're trying to organize us. You better organize some soap under your ass. So my point is, that's the way we went out there. And when we walked up in that cop sitting in that open door, he just walked up on 7th Street, big wide street, but he was kind of somewhere out in the streets. We near the curb, 14 of us, one sister with us. All of us got guns. Richard Oakland gave people extra guns, etc. And we bought some more. I bought Huey a new shotgun. You see on the front of my book over there, I bought Huey that shotgun with my paycheck. It's a pump shotgun, high standard brand. My point is, when that cop looked up and says, you have no right to observe us. And Huey says, no, California State Supreme Court rule states that every citizen has a right to stand and observe a police officer carrying out their duty as long as they stand a reasonable distance away. A reasonable distance that particular rule is constituted as 8 to 10 feet, who stand approximately 20 feet from you, will observe you whether you like it or not. And some sister in the audience, she said, well, go ahead on and tap it, brother. She's about to fall over, but it caught her attention, called capturing the imagination of people. Is that gun loaded? He said, my newest loaded is good enough. Well, I have a right here. He said, step back, you have no right whatsoever. According to such a law, such a rule, the California State, so-and-so versus so-and-so, this is my private property. You cannot remove my private property from me without due process of law. Step back, you cannot touch my weapon. Some tall black brother over here, he said, man, what kind of Negroes are these? Because it was new and had never been done in that fashion. In that civil sense. This is about civility, civil rights. This fact act spread all around this community. We had 3 or 4 other confrontations. You have to read them in my book, etc. But it spread for that 6 months that we patrolled police legally to a point that the California State Legislature by May, we started this in October '66, by May 1966, the California State Legislature, the Mulford Act, was put in and stopped anybody from carrying a loaded weapon inside city limits. And our weapons were loaded. Some people thought they were unloaded. They were not unloaded. They were loaded. I would never go out there with unloaded weapons. I wasn't trained that way. So my point is, he wants to get an understanding of the structure. The first year, we had no more than 45, maybe 50 members. First year. When we started in October '66. By end of October 1967, Huey went to jail. In fact, the party was non-functional while I was in jail. I was in jail when Huey went to jail for 6 months because of leading the California State Legislature. So this is that period. You have to understand. The Mao Zedong books, we sold 3,500 of those books. Get you read it, book $1, The Thoughts of Chairman Mao Zedong. I mean, University of California, other places. Then there was a big giant anti-war rally at Kezar Stadium in San Francisco. We must have sold 2,500 books that day. I mean, we left our guns at home. We just need to raise funds, you know. And then one day we decided to read the book. We had not even read the book. So people who think that the Black Panther Party started out on some doctrinaire, Marxist, it did not start out that way. I did not make the Red Book required reading until 1968. And when I come out of jail, I restructured the party. I expanded the rules from 10 rules to 28 rules. And then when I start structuring the party, and the chapters start growing all across the country, state levels had a deputy chairman, a deputy minister of defense, a deputy minister of information, health, care, and so on. Chapter branches had the same stuff on the branch level. In effect, we had so this is called committee leadership. That was my concept. I want committee leadership. I don't like mono, dictatorial leadership. I don't care for it. Informed community committee leadership. That's what was happening. And that's where I structured the party around the country. Down to democratizing our own very Black Panther Party newspaper as it related to the chapters and branches. We would produce a 24 to 40 page tabloid here in Oakland, California. Then, then I would have all the chapters and branches have a Ministry of Information bulletin dealing with problems and issues in their local community and city areas. Whether it was a 12-page and you would insert it when you received your party newspaper. So this was the kind of structure and framework that happened. And it was good because I called retreats of the leadership to give them more information, to teach them more. And I traveled to all the chapters and all the branches all around the country. So I had a profound face-to-face relationship with party members all across the country.
Before we take another question, I just need to say one thing about the next generation, and that is that the